Good morning, it is September 2nd, 2011. This is Cliff Potts. Welcome. Although I don't want to really get into it, I finally got paid. Yeah, I'm supposed to be being paid weekly, and it hasn't been happening. Gotta love corporate America. Now, to get on to the next topic of discussion within Wealth, Women, and War, the chapter is called Backbone. To put it in a nutshell, I give you the basic formula used by Ford, no less, to create an environment where there is opportunity at the local level. And it seems to me that's exactly what we're not doing today in the globalized marketplace. Matter of fact, we're doing anything but. However, one of the things that I didn't even touch on in that book is the fact that there very well may be a motivation to develop third world nations. A lot of what's going on today seems to be a certain amount of global socialization. I guess that's the word for it. They're still under the opinion that if they develop underdeveloped nations, that there will be less of a motivation for global war. At least that's the theory. And yet, since the days that globalization became the rule of the land, we've got nothing but wars and more wars and more wars. So one has to take a look at what's going on in the world and this model. The bottom line, however, in the book is that if you want to live at peace in the world, then develop the local economies. And that should stop a lot of it. This is Cliff Potts. And before I sign off, I will add that winner-take-all market models don't work. Bye-bye for now. Good afternoon. It's Saturday. It is September 3rd, 2011. Welcome, Cliff Potts. How are you today? I hope this finds you well. Next chapter we're going to talk about is called the Asian Influence. Now, one thing I didn't cover in the book is the background history going into that. I don't know how many of you remember the 80s all that well, but throughout the 80s, what we heard over and over again was how Japan was going to take over the world economy and how we were going to fall to the wayside. Much the same rhetoric that we're hearing today about China. The only problem, if you will, with that argument is that it didn't happen. As, well, starting in the late 80s with the peace dividend, the cash flow to Japan from the United States dried up. And Japan's eternal economy wasn't able to keep itself going. Many of the goods that they were selling over here at extremely reasonable prices, by Sony's products, and Honda, Mitsubishi, ad infinitum, were not really affordable by their own people in Japan. Also, what was going on in Japan was a housing bubble, not too dissimilar to what eventually took down. Well, yeah, it actually was. Ours was built on bad paper. I'm not too sure exactly what theirs was built on. But by the 1990s, the Japan economy collapsed. And as of now, some 20 years later, they still really haven't recovered. And of course, recently they got hit by the tsunami, and now they've got all sorts of problems with their nuclear plant, which is not the only issue going on there, but is one of the bigger ones. So, as we go through Wealth, Women, and War, we stop and look at Japan as it existed in its temperament and history, and its ability to take over as the economic leader of the world, which of course wasn't there. The next phase, of course, talks about China, and we'll be getting to that in the next video. Pick it up from there. So until next time, may your God go with you. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye for now. Before I let this one go, I want to say a few things. What I'm trying to do here. First of all, I am going through Wealth, Women, and War for the sake of posterity. A friend of mine on Facebook, somebody I actually consider a friend, like-minded individual, happens to be a Texan, and is as disgusted with his home state as I am. He's now living in Colorado. Told me, and I'm trying to remember exactly how to put this, for every person out there who listens, I have helped them along the path. That's boiling down what he told me into my understanding of it. So as such, let me put it to this way. This is not about telling you that the Titanic is going to sink. Okay? The Titanic is already sinking, and you know that. So that's not what this is all about. Now, mind you, when I did write Wealth, Women, and War, that's exactly what I was trying to inform you of. The whole point behind writing Wealth, Women, and War, Conspirators, Confederates, and Cronies, and especially Radicals, Religion, and Revelation, was to, I'm not sure how to put this, tell you that this is not the end of days. This is not the end times. This is not Armageddon. We have been through this before. That's one thing that I'm trying to make clear. We have been through this before. We have our forefathers, our grandparents, our parents have seen these kind of hard times before, and they survived, and the nation boomed again. And despite what is being said on the right about how horrible the Democrats are, and what is being said on the left about how horrible the Republicans are, we manage as a nation to survive the incompetence of our elected officials because they are but human. And as a nation, we are more than the individuals that govern us. I wouldn't quite say lead us, because I don't see them as being leaders. Not in this nation, and not at this time. I haven't seen any leadership at any level of our elected officials for as long as I can remember. I mean, I've seen a lot of non-leadership. I've seen a lot of passing the buck. I've seen a lot of blocking progress. I've seen a lot of people getting in the way of progress, but I haven't seen much in the way of leadership. So, but that's not even what this is about. Specifically in regards to wealth, women, and war, and why I'm working through it. It goes back to what I said before. I told you that this was going to happen before it happened. And the same thing with conspirators, confederates, and cronies, and radicals, religion, and revelation. And the reason I bring that up is I'm hoping that you will believe me when I tell you we have been through this before, we will survive it, we will be strong, and we will be better. That's the bottom line. This is not doom and gloom, as some of the critics have said. Anyway, again, like I said, that's it for now. As always, may your God go with you. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.